one of the questions that we have to ask is, why is it that there's so much resistance to vaccine in our communities? And I think it's important to ask those questions, and it's important to learn about these aspects. And I think first thing is the vaccines are victims of their own success. The fact that the last two generations in the United States have not seen the ugly face of the infectious diseases is allowing people to just look at the vaccines as the bad thing with respect to, because they have not seen the infections that have caused and have impacted, not only caused deaths, but permanent damage to people in the past. So that's important. And I actually look at the data in the underdeveloped world, which do not have the vaccines, and then see what type of diseases and illnesses that they are actually dealing with. That's going to be important. The second reason I believe there's a lot of concern that people have and resistance to vaccine is that we have lack of trust of the government. That's an unfortunate reality, and there's plenty of reasons for that. And then there's also lack of trust with the big pharma, and there's also lack of trust of the healthcare institutions in the country. And again, people can look at that and then be concerned about the fact that there is the big government, big pharma, and the big healthcare industry that is trying to go after the people and the children and then getting money through the vaccines. But if you look at the data from various different countries, look at the data not only from the United States with thousands and thousands of the children data, with Sweden, with United Kingdom, with Italy, all of these countries, you will be able to see that the data is showing very significant benefits from the vaccines, from prevention of these infections. So this is one of the biggest success story of public health that we know of in the planet at this time. And that's why it's important to make sure these preventions are there. Another reason people are actually not trusting this is because of the current environment where we have a social media frenzy and a bandwagon effect, that people actually are having these concerns, and they are easily able to go to the narrow casting that social media provides, which gives the people to reinforce their views, and the same one or two or more negative stories actually become exaggerated in the minds of people, which is important to recognize the pathology that we are seeing in our society at this time. The another aspect is, of course, it is well recognized, it was published in Lancet, is that the trolls and bots from out of the country are part of this process, who are working on both sides of the argument, which are causing us as a society to become more polarized, because there are entities outside, and let's say the facts, because that's what the publication says, it's Russia, where they are trying to polarize us as a society, and they are arguing on both sides and trying to raise the noise around it. And that's why we have to recognize we are one community, one society. We have to work on these differences together and find common ground for solutions. Again, there are other reasons people do this, is they're benefiting financially. If you look at some individuals who have been part of writing books and publishing some of this area, they are getting their financial gains from being in the part of this industry. And in my conversations with many people, it's very clear how they are financially benefiting as well. And of course, whenever there is two opinions, political sides take political positions for their own political gains, and I think that's something that's happening as well. Now I'm seeing another interesting pattern is that and then you can see this on my Facebook if you have not already seen this, is the people who are against the vaccine are joining hands with the people who are against the tolls, who are joining hands with the people who are against other policies, and then sort of uniting together to create a movement, which is the interest that they may have, but this is the cause of why there is lack of acceptance and resistance that we are seeing. So this is actually, interestingly, a perfect storm that is being created, and that's harming us as a society. I want to say one more thing is that the biggest reason why there's resistance is actually a condition called the availability heuristic. And for that, you'll have to watch the next video. Availability heuristic, or the cognitive bias. Make sure you watch that one. Thank you.